Okay, this is your spring and summer forecast for 2023. We should, off the bat, mention that hurricanes during the La Nina uh, is possible along the eastern coast of the United States, and they have a tendency to strike there more than during in the Gulf. So we have to keep an eye out for that because that can change the weather patterns, and that can do things. This kind of pattern, if anybody remembers Hurricane Agnes, this was the type of pattern back when that came up. So just mentioning that off the top of the bridge here, I'm basically going to talk about precipitation and temperatures, but during my exploration of what could happen, that did pop up. Okay, so this is April. Even though we've had these warm couple of days here, basically the month will come out to average to below average. As we move ahead into May, average to below average. Not good news. So even some models show even more below normal temperatures towards mid-month, but the month overall will be average southeast, and as we move through the state, it'll be below normal. But we're not talking a lot. We're talking a degree or two, but below average. So it's not anything exciting. It's just that there's not going to be these prolonged heat waves as we've been seeing or we kind of hope for. As we jump into June, um, a little bit above average in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania to Jersey. Middle country, state, I should say, is average, and there's a couple areas out in western PA and northern part of PA where they average a degree or so below normal. I predict that we will see these spikes in temperatures where they go into the 80s as we get into June. And rain-wise, the same thing. There'll be these as the temperature spikes, as the cold air starts to come back across, we'll have these downpours and thunderstorms and stuff like that. Tornado wise, again, it's just my ideas. I see Pennsylvania basically maybe between 8 and 11 tornadoes this year. I can't tell you the strength of them, but I can just tell you that that looks like the average that could happen as we move into July. Again, pretty much the way June was, the extreme eastern part, maybe a degree above normal throughout the center of the state. And again, out here, July will be a little bit below normal by about a degree or so. So we're not talking anything crazy. We're just not talking any extreme heat, and we're not talking any extreme cold. As we get into August, as you can see, basically everybody's normal temperature-wise. And as we get into September, actually, it gets a little bit above normal as we get into September. And then as we get in October, we're back to close to normal again. And precipitation-wise, we've had some downpours, but overall, we've been dry early part of this month, and it'll work out to where it's a little bit below normal temperature-wise. As we move into May, it picks up a little bit, some rain to the west and average to the east. As we get into June, it's basically drier, but you can look off the coast here. You can see storms would be off the coast. So we have to watch. Again, like I said, the East Coast this summer will be prone to possible hurricane. I think we'll see 2 or 3 of them landfall this year in the United States, one on the Gulf and 2 along the East Coast, the way I see it. In July, that precipitation moves in a little bit, but still dry to the west. And then as we get into August, it's now dry and east. So maybe July, I'm going to look at August as being a very warm month. And then September, we get wet again, which is normal. And that's when I think we need to watch the East Coast a little bit tighter for hurricanes. And then as we get in October, we begin to get very moist across Pennsylvania and the Northeast. And just a hint into November, we're still above normal. And then December, we kind of dry out. Thank you for all the snow that we're probably not going to get. But I still think next year, January and February with the La Nina would have the best possibilities of snow. I don't think it's an early winter as of right now. I think it's just going to be a normal winter, and I think snowfalls will be close to normal next year instead of where they've been below normal for a lot of people. All right, this is Fred. This has been your spring and summer forecast for 2023.